Self-esteem is a word we commonly listen to and use, even when I think not everyone understands the real meaning, otherwise they will apply it in a correct way. So let's define first self-esteem. Self-esteem is an individual's subjective evaluation of their worth. Okay, that is the definition the dictionary tells us, but I prefer thinking of self-esteem as the way you value and see yourself and your capabilities. Thanks to this, we can conclude that a person with a healthy self-esteem is a person that is okay with him or herself, that doesn't reproach of what life decided to give them, but also of what life decided to deprive from them. On the other hand, we have the people whose self-esteem is low. This means they don't agree with what they are and have. These kind of people are always complaining about everything. At this point of the speech, you might be a bit confused and say, "Bro, the talk is about loving yourself. Why are you talking about self-esteem?" Well, my friend, let me tell you something. They have all to do. Self-esteem is the best way of loving yourself, of having a better and healthier life. Having a low self-esteem brings lots of bad consequences to you, physical and psychological consequences. I want to give an example of a bad consequence that comes to you thanks to having a low self-esteem. Anorexia. Anorexia is an eating disorder that causes people lose more weight than the recommended for their age and height. Anorexia is characterized by the fear of gaining weight and by a distorted perception of the body. This distorted perception makes the patient look fat to himself even when his weight is below the recommended standard. It usually begins with the elimination of carbohydrates, fats, proteins, and even the reject of liquids. The latter leads to cases of extreme dehydration. To these symptoms, others can be added, such as the use of diuretics, laxatives, provoked vomiting, or excessive physical exercise. This is just one of millions of diseases caused by having a low self-esteem. Anorexia is nothing but wanting to be someone you are not, of not accepting how you look. With this, I'm not saying obesity is something good, or that making a change in your life is bad. The point I'm trying to get across is you don't have to change because others say you have to. Nowadays, we live in a society full of stereotypes, opinions, and people that want you to look as they do. And this is not the point. The point is, if you want to change the way you look, do it. Do it for health. Do it if you're gonna feel better. Do it for having a better life. It's your right. Now, at this point of the talk, you might be a bit confused. At first, I told you to accept yourself and love yourself. But now I'm telling you to change if you want to. And I agree with both of my arguments. Let me tell you why. Because in my opinion, the second one is just if your body needs it. For example, if you suffer from obesity and you argue that you won't lose weight because you have to accept yourself, I won't agree with you. Because obesity brings lots of bad consequences to you, and that is harming yourself, not loving yourself. There are things in the world that can be changed and others that cannot be changed. The things that can be changed can either bring you a benefit or bring you no benefit. For example, obesity is something that can be changed and will bring you lots of positive benefits. But an example of a thing that can be changed and won't bring you any benefit is your nose. If you have a horrible nose, and I use quotations because having a horrible nose is a perfect example of a stereotype established by society. You can change it, you can change your nose, but the only benefit it will bring to you is a feeling of satisfaction for now having a beautiful nose. Does that even get close to the real meaning of happiness? We have also things that can't be changed, like for example, our height. Each people comes with a specific genetic information. Some people come with a high height or with a low height. And unless you're a millionaire and can pay an expensive treatment for increasing your height, you have to accept yourself the way you are and be happy. otherwise you will live traumatized the rest of your life. Another important fact about low self-esteem is peer pressure. We've indirectly talked about it earlier, and is the pressure others, and with others I mean society, put on you for being as they think is correct. The point is, they don't even know what is correct. No one does. So stop thinking you need to be someone you are not just for being accepted. That is not loving yourself. I've known lots of people with this problem of not loving themselves. I want to share an experience with you. Obviously, I asked the person for permission to tell you the story, and for respect, I won't say names. This is the story of a common girl. Let's name her Anna. Anna is a girl that's always saying she sucks, she's ugly, no one likes her, she's always crying, and every time she makes something, she thinks it is incorrect. We have here a clear low self-esteem case, in which a girl doesn't accept herself the way she is and can't be happy, so she's never satisfied. And yes, that can be pretty annoying sometimes. The point is, she won't be truly happy until she accepts her body and her way of behaving and stops longing to fulfill others' expectations, until she truly loves herself. I think the real problem begins with us as a society. We're always criticizing everything and everyone, and that is not what it's about. I think people should learn that we have to respect others' way to look and behave. But this will only be possible until each of us begin to love ourselves, because in many cases, people attack others because they don't feel comfortable with themselves, and they are traumatized and they want others to feel like them or even worse. Isn't that a bit selfish? Let's begin loving ourselves. This will let us to understand that everyone is different, and that is what makes humans and the planet a unique thing in the universe. I think loving yourself is the clue for being happy. Happiness is something every single human dreams of, and loving and accepting yourself is the map and key for beginning the treasure hunt.